Yeah. Well, thanks for being here today, Monika.
Thank you.
This is Monika Nielsen and Your Style Rehabist, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And she is a style and closet coach. Is that a good description?
Absolutely.
Cool. And then I would say, just by reading it, it's like she helps women show up in the world confident and feeling good about their clothes.
Yes.
Is that a good summary?
It scratches the surface.
It scratches the surface. Yes, I would agree with that. But if you had to sum it up in one sentence,
that's a tough one.
Elevator pitch.
I have spent 3 years trying to, because I don't want to say closet therapist.
Okay.
But that really is what it is.
Okay.
Like
but why do you not want to say that?
Well, because then you're like therapy. You know, you don't want to.
Oh wait, are we going to sit in my closet?
I know you don't want to open yourself to that, but we literally do. I bring coffee, and you sit on the floor.
Yeah.
And we just. I say we cut it open and we just let all the gunk out. And we just start sorting out why you're doing what you're doing, why you're keeping what you're keeping, what you're ready to let go of.
So that's the first step, pretty much, when you get to the house is you just go sit in the closet.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
That would be fun.
It is
That is
fun.
therapy. That does sound like therapy to me. You know what I love about closets?
Tell me.
The acoustics.
Oh, yes.
It's just quiet. There's no echo. It's just the clothes absorb it, and it's just like it's really quiet in a closet.
As a mom with young kids, I've hidden my closet a few times, so I know that to be true. Yes.
That's good. So, yeah, can you elaborate on what you do a little bit more? Just tell people kind of a little bit more about your services, what you provide.
Right. Well, when we first get started, you have a workbook that you have 15 pages that you go through before we ever meet. Wow. So it's a little bit of homework. I have learned over the years, over many, many years, and have experienced it, which is how all good stories start, with a big crisis, right? Mm-hmm. You have a crisis, and then that's how change happens. You are standing in your closet, which is the most vulnerable spot in your whole house because you're naked every day getting ready. And you are looking at things for a life you don't have anymore and a body you're not happy with. So where does that put you?
Yeah.
You know, at 7 a.m. every morning.
If you have a lot going on in your life, it probably seems daunting to even get started.
Oh, 1,000%. Because we have
overwhelming.
We have to pull apart the memories. We have to pull apart the coulds or the shoulds. Or the problem that we have is that when we look at a pair of jeans that don't fit, we very rarely say, oh, these jeans don't fit. I should buy a new pair. It's not really what happens. We start looking in, why can't I lose that last 10 pounds? Why can't I? It's always this, why can't I? So we turn it on ourselves real quickly.
I'm going to keep that for when I do, because I know I'm going
to. Motivator. Yeah. I'm going to look at it every day and be motivated. It's not what happens.
Right. It gets buried in the back of the closet.
It gets buried in the back, so it creates visual clutter. Or you do keep it there every day, and then you're just killing yourself because we're humans and we don't always make the greatest choices every day. So when we can't fit in those jeans, we say, oh, why did I go to happy hour last night? Why didn't I go to the gym? And it's all this, we're just beating ourselves up.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's a very negative space.
1,000%. Yeah. So God help you if you're trying to get ready in the morning and your kids are yelling up the hall, you know, Mom, we're out of bread. Or your husband's like, wait, don't forget, you've got pickup to, you know, whatever it is that's coming at you from your family or your dog is you know, whatever it is. And then, so that's clutter in your head. And then you're looking at everything and you're like, forget it.
It's one more thing in your life that can be overwhelming, right?
Yes.
And instead, so your goal, would you say that your goal is to turn that negative space into a positive space?
1,000%.
Okay.
We will pull every single item out of your closet and make decisions based on some of the homework that you've done. So it's who you are, how you need to show up in the world, and whether or not your clothing reflects that.
Okay.
Does this shirt give me what I need to do what I need to do? If it doesn't, then we make decisions on it. Is this a memory? Is this a college sweatshirt? Is this that, you know?
What do you do with those memories that maybe don't fit anymore?
It hurts my heart that so many women have been bulldozed by this simplicity movement and they've just chucked it all. They're just like, oh, you haven't worn it in 6 months. You know, you get your list off the internet. Haven't worn it in 6 months. Well, I guess I need to get it out of here because it's going to create space and I'm going to find joy. But the problem is they're memories for a reason.
Yeah.
So let's honor those. So I fold them up really pretty and we put them way up high on the top shelf.
Okay.
So that you can treat it like a piece of art. So you can walk in and say, I remember that 1992 Duran Duran concert. That was so much fun. You know, it's no different. So, but it has to get out of the space that you're trying to get ready.
Okay. Nice. All right. And so tell us, who's like your ideal client? What do your clients look like? What's the demographic there? Is it pretty broad? Is it pretty
It's
narrow?
so broad, and
Okay.
that's what I love. I've had younger clients, 24, 25, 26, just getting into the workforce,
Okay.
trying to figure out how they can command authority, right? Because they know what they're doing. They just need to show to everybody else they know what they're doing. And
Yeah.
clothes is the easiest way to do that. You
Yeah.
can command authority very quickly, visually, because you are judged
Your
the first
clothes
10
are
seconds.
communicating something, right? Whether you want them to or not.
Yes.
So you get to curate, you kind of help them curate what that message is.
Absolutely. 1,000%. You've nailed it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an example of, you have a client that you could think of who was communicating something that they didn't want to communicate, and what were they wearing? And you know what I mean? Like, how did you help them shift?
It's more the way you feel in clothing.
Okay.
So I stay away from these lists of you need a power suit, or you need some people don't like suits.
Yeah.
So when you put something on that's not really you, that's what you're communicating, an uncomfortableness.
Okay.
You know, you're kind of pulling at the shoulders or the sleeves or whatever it is. So that's what you're projecting.
Okay.
Is that you're not 100% confident. So if you're putting on something that is authentically you,
Yeah.
right? And we look at color and pattern and style and shape and your body architecture, and we figure out what's going to make you look in the mirror and go, oh, I feel so good.
Yeah.
Instead of, ooh, what's wrong with that? You know,
Yeah.
it's very immediate. I tell my clients all the time, your face doesn't lie. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and you get all
Okay.
scrunchy, take it off.
Hey, you know, it's interesting. I was just thinking about, so you kind of take the closet space and turn it from a negative to a positive, but there's also a space in our heads that takes up when we're wearing something that we're not confident in, right? And it's a negative space that you take out into the world. So part of your job is also turning that space that we are subconsciously thinking about or consciously thinking about what we're wearing and what we're projecting in the world with our clothes, turn that from a negative into a positive. So it's being, unconfident to confident, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I have not, when I started looking at your business, I didn't think about it like that.
Yes.
And realize like how important that is when you're stepping, especially in transition periods in your life, I feel like, right? So not to use my wife as an example all the time. I talk about her a lot, but she's a professor, and she's kind of in the last year moved into a new place in her career, and she's managing a lot of people, and she got a big research grant, and she's like going to the office. She used to work from home most days,
Right.
and just sit in her room, you know what I mean, at her little desk and write papers and grants. And
Right.
now she's managing a team of people, and she got, $20 million grant, and it's like big girl job. And she went out and she bought a lot of clothes. And my first instinct was like, wow, that was, you spent a lot of money. But I'm like, now I see her go to work and feel confident, and the difference that makes in her life and her career, and just like how she feels about herself stepping into those spaces. And so, but she could probably use help getting rid of some of the old stuff.
Purging is a constant.
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients that
You
say,
call it
"Oh, it's
you
so
call it
good."
purging.
Purging.
Is that an intentional word?
It is.
Okay.
It is, because you're letting it go. You got to let it go. There's some of these things, the size challenge that we have, and the life. I've had clients that have beautiful spaces, organized, light to dark, folded beautifully, and they hate getting ready. And they don't realize until they work through maybe the time audit part in my workbook. They say, I keep buying for a life I don't have.
Yeah.
I have this life. I've got 3 little kids under 8, but I keep buying clothes to go out to lunch with my girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's so much more fun.
Right.
But I can't get ready every day
Yeah.
because I'm not buying the proper things. So it's not always this up level of image. Sometimes you just have to look at your life and say, this is where I am right this second.
Yeah.
What do I need to live the life I need to live? That's not just good enough. So we work with a lot of good enough. Good enough is not good.
Yeah.
Because that's how you end up showing up. So
Yeah. And so you are helping people purge, but then you're also helping people pick out new clothes.
yes, sometimes I'm very, I'm frugal. I have a lot of my grandma in me, this like depression era.
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
still,
yeah.
she's
You
96.
Saving foil
I'm not
still?
quite saving
Okay.
foil,
that
but
was my folks.
My in-laws do save all the plastic baggies. They have a plastic baggie drawer. But I get it.
Yeah, me too.
1,000%. And I think that's what helps me relate to people who are having a hard time letting go, because I understand why people keep the things they keep. So, and I'm compassionate in that. And I will never just walk in and be like, chuck it all, let's scorch earth this. You know, we're going through each piece individually. So when it comes to shopping, by the end of your workbook, you've got this list of holes that are in your wardrobe.
Okay.
Say, for instance, I hold up this sweater and I say, well, are you wearing this? And you're like, no, not really. What's stopping you? So we kind of ask a few questions and you think, you know what? I just needed a navy blue tank top. But every time I put it on, I realized I never bought the navy blue tank top. So I put it back up and it goes back on my shelf.
Okay.
I'm like, let's write it down.
Gotcha.
Navy blue tank top. You know, let's fill the holes in our closet intentionally. A, it's going to save you money. B, it's going to save our resources and what is happening in fast fashion and the way that people are just in this discard mentality. I don't subscribe to that at all. So let's fill it intentionally so that you can have the wardrobe that you need to do what you need to do.
Percentage of clothes you're trying to get rid of? Is it different for each client?
Some clients I walk out with a small handful.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just reimagining your space.
Okay.
Sometimes it's really taking a look at what you have. I had a realtor client who called me and said, I can't take it anymore. She's like, I need a whole new wardrobe. Nothing fits. So when you get in there though and start looking, she probably needed 4 or 5 things.
Okay. That's
This
it.
is what happens, Matthew, is that the more you go in and you say, no, 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 then your whole vision is clouded. You're like, forget it. Nothing works. Let's pull out those things that don't fit you right now for your life or your body. And now you're left with choices.
Yeah.
Now everything you see can fit for what you need to do and the body that you have. So a lot of times, once you start clearing out a lot of this no, 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 and sometimes it's good things like, oh, this is the stained shirt that I use to garden in. Well, it shouldn't be with your getting ready shirts. There's your grubby clothes pile over here. Let's put it in a drawer.
I got that.
So, yeah, because then you put it on and you say, oh, and then you take it
Every
back
time I
off.
see it, I'm like, I need to get rid of this. It's disgusting. I'm like, well, that's what I paint in.
That's what you paint in.
You got to have some clothes to get out in the yard, work in the garden.
Of course.
Do some yard work. And
My
get
husband
sweaty.
always wears his nicest jeans to work on his car. I'm like, what are you doing?
Why does he do that?
He's just not thinking. He's
Okay.
very task oriented.
Sounds like he needs some help organizing his closet. Maybe.
He does. I try to tell him, just go upstairs and change. Put those grubby cargo shorts from 15 years ago
Oh,
on.
there you go. Cargo shorts. No, they're coming back, I think. They're going to
true.
come back. All right. So I want to take a step back and go back to just talk a little bit more about the nuts and bolts of your business. You started your business kind of right in the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
Is that intentional? Walk me through what inspired you to do that and kind of the
Yes.
events that led up to that.
I have done what I do most of my life with people.
Okay.
But as far as kind of big girl business, you know, register with the government, pay
Gotcha.
your taxes.
Yeah. Become official.
Exactly, the official. And it really came from a couple of points. We've homeschooled for 22 years.
Wow.
So we're on
How
our
many
last
kids do you
kiddo.
have?
We've got 3 kids.
Okay. And how old are they?
26, 19, and 11.
Okay.
So we're on our last one.
Okay.
So I felt
You homeschooled them all the way through?
the oldest went to school as a junior in high school. He
You
went
kind of
to
leave that choice up to them?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well, once we get him through junior high, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sending my kids to junior high or middle school, I guess they call it now.
Yeah.
And then the middle one went as a freshman.
Okay.
And we're not real sure every year we sort of
Fill it
reevaluate.
out. Yeah.
So I've spent the last 20 years, home investing in my children. And I did a lot of nonprofit work and things like that, but really looking down the road a little bit saying, oh, my job is almost done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is
First career is over. It's coming to an end. Yeah.
So what do I want to do? And so it seemed like the right time. I met my
Did the
now
pandemic affect that decision at all?
no.
Okay. You were
it was just
working
timing.
towards that already before
Yep.
that all happened. Okay. Cool.
And funny enough, that year, I traveled more. People said, you know what, I just need you in my space. So I was in California, I was in Florida, I was in Baltimore, of people who had the time and said, I just need you to come in here and just take care of it all. So
Nice.
yeah, it was really fun.
That's cool. So you're going coast to coast to meet with clients? Okay.
Yep.
That's great. How are people finding you most of the time?
Most of the time on social media is about 30%.
Okay.
And it's mostly referrals.
Okay. A lot
and
of
it's
word of mouth.
A lot of word of mouth. It's a super vulnerable space.
That's the best way to run a business, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Because you get a good client and then they have good, cool friends and they refer you and you get to work with their cool friends. And then that just
Right.
kind of builds on itself. So
For sure.
I've been filming weddings since 2012 and we still film a few weddings and it's all word of mouth. You know what I mean? Never market it. And it's all, you just get really cool people that way.
Right.
So.
And half of your job, quite frankly, is done. A good
Yes,
referral.
I almost never have to sell myself. Yeah.
Right.
It's more of a conversation of can you afford this than it is, do you want to, what I mean?
Right.
Are we a good fit? It's
Right.
like, we're almost always a good fit.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. So were you like this as a child? Was fashion a big part of like your childhood? Were you hyper organized as a child? My wife always would reorganize her sock drawer and make her whole family come and look. She's very organized.
Oh my gosh, we need to meet. I love that.
Yeah, you would love her. And anyways, were you like that as a child?
No.
Or is this something you developed later? Okay.
I wasn't. I mean, I was tidy.
Sure.
My mom may say differently when I hit teenage years, but I started working retail very young, and I worked in a clothing store, so I kind of got used to that. Every 6 months, you had to wear what you were selling. So fashion was fun. You could literally become a different person with the clothes you have on, right? Do I need to be powerful and professional? Do I need to be kind of sexy with my
Especially
hubby?
women, just like change up the hairstyle a little bit and put a different outfit on. Maybe do your makeup a little different, and you just
big earrings, lipstick. You're out
totally
the door.
Different person.
So it was fun. It was fun to create that. It was fun to help people with that. And unfortunately, it created a cycle of shopping a lot. Which was hard to break. And it also had this, my crisis, as I call it, was this intertwining of sizes and clothing and how that affected my self-worth.
Okay.
So when I couldn't manage a size and I sat there with all of those things that I couldn't wear for years, 80% of my beautiful closet did not fit. And over time, it was just more and more and more of, I don't even care. I don't even care. This is stupid. No, I care. I care. I care. I'm going to work really, really hard. But due to some medical issues, it didn't happen. And I remember sitting there having this breakdown saying, it was this clarity thinking, I am attaching my self-worth to a piece of cloth. Yeah. I'm too old for this. Is ridiculous. I've done the work. I know better than this. And yet I was telling myself that I didn't deserve to feel good unless I fit in this size.
Is there a financial hang up for some people? Maybe not for your clientele, but it's a daunting, it's like for me, what I'm really bad about is buying something that is on sale that isn't perfect, but I buy it because it's so cheap. I'm like, I've been wanting something like that, or I'll make it work. I'm like, no, that was a large. You're small. Like, why did you do that? And I get home, it sits in my closet for a couple months, and then I just donate it. I saw these shoes, I don't even know what they're called, but I've been wanting these dress shoes for a while. I was at ARC looking for something else, saw them. I was like, and I tried them on. And I was like, they're like a little too big, but it's fine. I'll wear 2 pairs of socks or something. I'm going to buy them. They're $8, $10.
Why not?
I was like, whatever. And I come home, they sat in my closet for 2 months and I put them back on every couple weeks, try them on. They don't fit. They look stupid.
They're still too big.
And who knew? My foot didn't grow. I'm 39 years old. My feet stopped growing, I guess. No, it doesn't matter how many pairs of socks I put on. They're not going to, and they were like a style you're not even supposed to wear socks with. So I was like, why did I do that? And I just chunked them back out, put them back in the box to donate them. I just brought them back to ARC.
Just a little revolving door.
Just a $10 donation.
Exactly.
To
Call
ARC
it good. You tried.
And some errands for myself. So
absolutely. Quite a few of my clients, we look at that in some of your homework. You grab the things with tags and you say, why did I not wear this?
A lot of people still have tags on their
clearly you got sucked into a sale. We all do. We love a good deal.
Yep.
So why didn't you like it? And that's really what stops people from this shop purge cycle,
Okay.
which I'm trying to just let them step back a minute and say, why do you keep buying these things? And a lot of times it's because you're not paying attention. We shop in a habit loop.
Yeah. What does that mean?
So it means like if you always buy something kind of like that, you'll always be drawn to something kind of like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah, we're the
God
same
help you if
thing
it is
all the
on
time.
sale because you're just going to grab it. It's like $12, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's a higher end piece, you're like, this was 125 and now it's only 82. You know, whatever your price point is, people love a good deal. So you have to pull it out and start making decisions. Why don't I like these 3 things? Oh, you know what? They all kind of look, I guess I don't like V-necks. I never noticed. But all these things that I'm not wearing have similarities to them.
Gotcha.
Oh, I guess I really don't like
That's something that would
florals.
never come without your help. I feel like that's something people would never take the time to do or think about.
Right. Because that's the problem is that you just pull it out that you haven't worn it and you chuck it and then you turn around and buy pretty much the exact same thing.
Okay.
You know, so
I feel like I'm guilty of that.
It's incredibly wasteful, and I get it. I did the same thing too. Or you want to be that person, like I want to be the girl that wears that floral top, but when I put it on, I kind of feel like an idiot. So you know what? That's another decision. Do I want to push through and have a different style, or do I just want to accept I'm not going to be a floral top girl?
Okay.
And that's okay. Either choice is okay. You just need to make some decisions and take the time to do them. And we don't.
Yeah. So maybe you just have to put it on and try it. Wear it out.
Oh, you're funny. I do that all the time. I tell my clients, just wear it to the grocery.
Force them to wear something.
But no, just wear it to the grocery.
Okay.
Really low level.
Gotcha.
Right? If you
Probably
see
not gonna see a lot of
someone,
people.
probably they're
Yeah.
not paying attention, but you're going to see yourself 3 or 4 times in the door, at
Okay.
the ice cream part, or in
Yeah.
the mirrors in
Sure.
the vegetables. So you're going to keep looking at yourself, going, "Could that be me?"
And
So
you're going to be cognizant of how you feel in it.
how you feel.
Are
So if you take your loop.
Are people noticing? Is people noticing for the wrong reasons?
Yes, exactly. Take your loop through the grocery and then
Okay.
make a decision after. Say,
I like that. That's
that
practical,
wasn't so
too.
bad. Maybe next time I'll go to a party in it.
Yeah. You said something. You said, I asked what kind of makes your business and what you do different from like competitors, people who are also in that space. You said you work much deeper in the why, not the how.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that? Can you explain that? What you mean?
You can spend 5 minutes online and figure out how to organize your closet. What we do together, you end up with an organized closet, but really you're curating a wardrobe for the life you live right this second. So you had mentioned a few minutes ago about the price, if that's a barrier to people, this price of, well, I can't go out and buy a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah.
I would never ask you to do that. I'm not your boss. I'm not your mom. You can spend as much as you'd like, but I would always say, what are the 2 or 3 pieces that we can get right now to tide you over? If you have a next goal, keep all this stuff. Just get it out of your space.
Gotcha.
It needs to be out of your closet.
Okay.
So,
So people can keep it. They just need to get
Absolutely.
it out of their
You
space.
just need to get
put
it
in a
out
box.
where you can, under the bed, down the hall, in the crawl space.
Okay.
Some of my clients don't have any other rooms, so we put it all the way to the left or all the way to the right.
Okay.
You have to be able to go in and see a good 6-foot section of everything you can wear right now that makes you feel good. So we're only buying a few pieces. So as we're looking at putting together this wardrobe, I will organize based on how you live, and how complicated you want to be. I mean, I can make things very complicated, but if you're not going to fold it that way or hang it that way, then I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
Because that's silly.
Yeah.
Then it's just causing more frustration. So how do you live your life? One of my clients said, I hate pants with 2 clips. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Let's
fold them.
Exactly. But she didn't have room to fold in her closet. So we bought these little 1-clip hangers.
Okay.
She's like, I can do I can do a 1-clip.
You probably know all the closet. Are you doing any sort of restructuring of the closet,
No.
putting in new racks or anything? It's just the clothes and just rearranging
Exactly.
them.
I believe you don't need to rearrange, or you don't have to have this beautiful build out.
Okay.
Pinterest is killing
Yeah.
us. right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that everybody's got something so big and beautiful, and we don't.
Yeah.
And you also don't have to buy $300 worth of cute baskets and beautiful hangers.
Okay.
We can do what you need to do with what you have.
Oh, that's good. That's encouraging. I think it makes probably a lot more approachable financially for people too. If people want to spend the money on organized things,
For sure. There's all kinds of cute things out there.
That was what I was going to ask. I feel like you probably know like all the tips and tricks and gadgets and organization tools and stuff like that.
I very rarely use them.
Okay.
If you're going to invest in anything, skinny felt hangers are the best.
Oh, that's what we
because you can hang in multiple ways.
Okay.
You can hang sweaters on them without pulling at the shoulders.
Okay.
Your things won't fall off as you're flipping through. And it does visually look really pretty.
Sure.
So there is something to that.
Yeah, that's exactly what we have.
Yeah.
My wife must have read that. Maybe
There you go.
on your website somewhere. That's good. You talked a little bit about like the simplicity movement. Is that kind of like minimalism movement? Do you kind of lump those in the same category?
I would say so.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with it if that's truly how you want to live.
Yeah.
But I think people are craving peace.
Yeah.
And so if someone tells them you will have peace by doing this, they will.
They'll try it.
But there's nuance to that. And there's so much, the clothing that we wear, this sounds a little woo-woo, I'm going there, but the clothing that we wear absorbs the energy that we have.
Okay.
Right? So that's why that college sweatshirt means so much. That's why, that leather bomber jacket that your sister gave you in high school means so much because of the memories that are attached to that. So I think people discount that. And I've had so many clients that are so sad that they've just chucked it all.
Yeah. I kind of call myself a minimalist. I like minimalism a lot. We got really into it, probably 7 years ago. And, now that we have 3 little kids, it's much harder to do, but, what I liked about it was the intentionality of it.
Yes.
Right. So we definitely got rid of a lot of things that didn't fit our lifestyle, and we were able to get rid of stuff, that no longer, brought us joy or had purpose. And we kind of follow the 2020 rule. Have you heard the 2020 rule? It's like, if you can buy it for $20, or get it within 20 minutes of a drive, then if you're just saving it for just in case, if it's just in case, then just get rid of it because it's just taking up space and you can replace that. And that's a very privileged position to be in,
For
right?
sure.
To be able to go, I can throw this away because it's just $20. But also it's it just helps you get rid of those things that you're hanging on to. I might use this one day.
Right.
I might wear this. I might wear this one day.
Right.
I want to hang on to this. I might need this article of clothing for one day. And it's well, you've had it for 4 years. You know what I mean? And so it's in that just in
Wear
case
it or
it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So I feel like there is a lot of overlap in what you're doing with minimalism. It's just the Venn diagram of that, I feel like, is intentionality.
Yes.
Yeah. And just being intentional and thoughtful about what you're bringing into your closet, what you're communicating, with the rest of the world by what you're wearing. So
exactly. You've absolutely nailed it. And I think one thing that pulls out a little bit more is a lot of my clients who have done that. They're like, okay, I'm only, going to have 52 things in my capsule wardrobe.
Oh, the capsule wardrobe.
Right.
I do want to talk about that.
Which is great if that's your jam.
Can you explain for people who don't know what a capsule wardrobe is? Can you elaborate on that?
So it's going to be core basics that you can mix and match and really be able to live your whole life in.
Okay.
So 4, 5, 6 pairs of pants, 8 or 9, 10 shirts, 3 or 4 pairs of shoes, in a way that, color, style, fabric, life, you're able to integrate in a way that you can show up anywhere you want with just a few things.
Yeah. And you're able to mix and match depending on the seasons. And
Absolutely. I love that if that is you. Many of my clients have tried that and then they're bored. They're like, I'm bored. I want something new. I want something pretty. So then they turn around and start buying things that don't integrate. So now you're almost creating a little bit bigger of a mess. So again, it's that intentionality of what can you bring in? If you love the idea of having 100-piece capsule wardrobe,
Yeah.
then let's just make sure it integrates and make sure that you wear it. Pull out those special things. Wear pearls with your plaid shirt and jeans, and like really own a style. Like be the person that mixes and matches and is creative and is joyful in that. So I think it's just more knowing who you are. And a lot of times women won't take the time, which is why I said at my workbook very specifically, let's take the time to figure out who you are. Because if that's your jam, then boom, let's pare it down to 50 pieces and you're going to be happy.
So the workbook, you've talked about that a lot. It sounds like something you've developed over a long time.
Yes.
How long have you been working on that? You said it's 15 pages?
15 pages. I mean, it's only that big, so it's not.
Okay.
It's not an 8 by 11, 15 pages, but it is.
Is it digital or you give people a physical
No,
copy?
it's hard. We are
like
hardcore
that.
hard copy.
I like that.
Because there is that, this is the homeschool mom in me. This is your brain to your fingers creates a sticky part in your brain so much more than typing or texting or anything like that. Yeah. Anything that you write down, you will remember more.
Okay.
So I mail it to you.
That's cool.
And you grab a pen and you take the time to write it down. Because when you write down, I don't like V-necks, when you're tempted by that sale,
Yeah.
3 months down the road.
I wrote that down.
Yeah,
in my
your
book.
brain's like, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's a V-neck, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The clients that don't do their workbook, I'm usually there 6 or 8 months later.
Well, you come back, you revisit.
Absolutely. They'll call me back and say, I don't know what happened. I'm like, I know exactly what happened.
You didn't do your workbook.
You didn't do your workbook. So you've just repurchased everything that you got rid of. And you're still not
Expensive
happy.
mistake. Just do the workbook.
Just do the workbook. I know.
So how long have you been perfecting that?
For the last 3 years.
Are you still tweaking it?
No, I've got it pretty much
dialed
nailed.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're in version 3.
Okay.
Just because my clients, I've realized, are the young professionals all the way up to 60s, women in transition, whether it's the empty nest, whether it's the divorce. It's a lot of emotion in these transitions. So you have to look at, wait a minute, is this still me? Who do I want to be? So the divorce side, that's self-explanatory, right? I have a whole entire closet of a life that I've lived that,
Yeah.
I
I may not want those memories.
exactly.
lingering.
So I've tweaked a bit based on the fact that now I don't have the person that's like me.
Okay.
Your first clients are pretty much all like you.
Yeah.
Because they identify. You're like, I had a crisis about jeans too. Will you please help me? So.
That's awesome. So you're offering virtual sessions now, right?
Yes.
That's cool. What brought that about? How long have you been doing that? And can you talk about maybe the differences there?
It was hard. I started offering them 2 years ago.
Okay.
And it was all my mental blocks that stopped me from really continuing, because I so love sitting with you. It's this, like, I'm a like, let's just like sit and drink
space.
coffee and talk.
Wear something cozy.
And I can hug you. And so for me, it was a very hard transition. And my coach kept telling me, she's like, it won't be the same.
Yeah.
Just knock it off.
Yeah.
Get out of your head. It won't be the same, but you've got so much to offer. And
You can reach so many more people.
so many more people that can't just say, hey, let me fly you out to, San Francisco. So it was a little bit harder to develop because I had to get out of my own way.
Okay.
But yes, I've been doing that for the last probably 3 months. And it's fantastic. You get the same workbook. You get an hour Zoom with me to kind of discuss your biggest.
Do you go sit in your closet when you take the Zoom call?
I should.
You should do that.
I should do that. I know. Most of the time we're at our desks. A lot of times I am not in the closet with you.
Yeah.
Because we're just discussing things.
Okay.
So it depends. Sometimes if it's a personal style issue, then we'll jump on FaceTime. And I said, no, just grab me and, let's figure things out as far as who you are and what works.
Do people have access to you anytime if they have questions during? How does that work, or is it just talk to during our sessions?
Oh no, I'm
Are they
a
ever
texter.
like sending you pictures?
Yes.
Oh, do you think this is my style?
Yep, we go back and forth quite a bit, especially if I'm helping you curate some extra pieces. I'll find some things for you. I try to find things local, so I'll start digging where you live, any shops that are close to you. I'll call shop owners. We'll figure out things like that.
Boutiques.
Yes, I'll also look up local nonprofits that you can donate thoughtfully.
Okay.
Because that's a big part of how we sort of end our session is I will take the things with me that you are ready to let go of and make sure they get in the hands of people who need them. So there's no big box donation situations.
Tell me about the nonprofits that you like to work with.
So many. Dress for Success is a huge one.
Okay.
They are nationwide.
What do they do?
Dress for Success enables women to reenter the workforce.
Okay.
In all stages, whether it's fresh out of incarceration, whether it is a newly single mom with 2 kids, whether it's next steps of a mom going, oh, I've been a mom for 15 years. Now what do I do? So their program allows for many things, job trainings and things like that, interview help, but also you get to come in and shop.
Oh, cool.
They
have a physical location.
They have a physical location here in Denver, most big cities, and you'll be able to go in and get what you need, not only for the interview, but they'll put together like a little capsule wardrobe for you for your next few days at work.
That's so cool.
So
and they're pulling things that all these different women have donated and creating that. Oh, that's
so
fun.
as we're going through your closet, I'll be like, okay, this is a Dress for Success piece. This goes over here. This is a little bit more casual.
You kind of can tell what they're gonna
Absolutely.
need.
I've worked with them for years.
That's awesome.
So so I know what they need.
Okay.
If you're looking for casual things, there's Assistance League of Denver, which is a beautiful organization right off of I-25 in Evans. And they have a thrift store, but their thrift store turns around and funds all their different nonprofits.
Oh, cool.
So they're helping out kids in school. They're in a hospital program. They do a lot of things. Hope and Help Center is down in Castle Rock. Same thing. They have a thrift store. And the only reason that I will give your things to be resold is because what they turn around and do with that and invest in the community. They work with Douglas County for vouchers so people can come in and get whatever they need for free. They have food banks. They have rental assistance. So they're really helping people by the shirt that you're not wearing anymore can turn around and help.
So you have an aversion to the Goodwills and Arcs of the world, and that is because
that's probably a whole nother TED Talk. I believe
what they're doing is not what you want to support.
Exactly.
Okay. We can leave it at that.
That is such a fantastic way to say it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
I've always struggled not to get on a soapbox about that, but if you want to talk about it later, we can.
No, that's cool. I do donate sometimes to those places. So maybe I can talk to you about better places to donate. Off camera. It's mostly just the convenience,
It is. And they make it very easy. And I pass no judgment on where people donate because I would much rather have it not in the trash can.
It's not that they're not doing any good. It's just they're not doing as much good. Or
there's hyper local places that you can donate that make a huge impact. And
it's almost the difference between like supporting a small business and supporting a box store, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think people, you just don't know what you don't know. 10 years ago, I didn't know any of it. Yeah. So once I learned, then you think, oh, I could just go a little bit further out of my way and make a much bigger impact in my community. So.
All right. So what are your future plans? Is there a direction that you're moving? Are you changing anything? Are you trying to grow? Are you really happy with where you're at? Are you taking new clients? Tell me about the next year or two for you.
I love where I am. Okay. It's an interesting thing in entrepreneurship, right? You always get these messages of bigger, get a team, do a thing, and I love doing what I'm doing. It's a perfect balance of me still being able to be home and invest in my kiddo with his education. It's being able to help women in my community. I'm always taking new clients, but I'm not looking to, franchise or, work my brains out or it's very personal to me. I don't know, things could change in 5 years, but I can't imagine.
You can change in 5 months.
That's true. Very true. I can't imagine taking people on because most people in my industry don't think like me. They get in, they get out, they organize it, and then you're left doing the same thing over and over because you haven't dug into the why. That's why I dig so much into the why. Even if we never fold your t-shirts pretty, by golly, you're going to know what you have or what you need to be able to show up in the world.
I love it. That's awesome. How can people find you?
Yes. So Instagram, if you want to follow along at Style Closet Coach, that will give you the vibe of who I am. That's mainly the place that I will market. Instagram's just fun for me. Cool. So that's where I stay. Of course, my website will give you things that are more in depth, which is just yourstylerehabist.com. And and
you're willing to travel still.
And I'm still willing to travel. Absolutely. Fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Monika.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you being here. It's something that I hadn't really thought about, but after discovering you, meeting you, learning about your business a little bit before this conversation, I really understand the need and what you're doing. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
I need to find a male version of you.
Well, I will do.
You do some men?
I do. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's
right,
funny.
it's
I've actually done couples at the same time.
That would be good.
It's a big one. You guys have shoes and t-shirts. You seem to accumulate.
Yeah. It's hard to get rid of shoes.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
So
all right,
you're not off the hook.
Right. No, we don't need to talk about me.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks again for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Cool.
All right.
That's it.